Is it this is something old? Let's hold on for a second. I'll plug the new.
Okay, we're gonna make it fun archaeology after. You didn't ask, but that's okay. No, exactly.
You guys, while you're waiting, get out your Act 2 worksheets. Act 2 worksheets. What did you do with yours?
I mean, Ruby, can you hear me that paper? What? Oh, yeah, I got it. Thank you. Yeah, I got it.
Maria, do you have questions? Yeah, let's let her do that herself. All right, let's go ahead and stand for class prayer, guys. And Anthony, Irene, if you could lead us in prayer this week. I'd like to pray for the 70 Christian martyrs of the massacre in the Republic of Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo last week.
In the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Our Father, who art
Art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
All right, go ahead and pass forward your Act 2 worksheets, please. That's it. Anybody else? And then if anybody has any late work, ladies, if anybody has any late work, I'll take that now as well.
Did you pass these back? Did Tom make sure to know? Oh, no, it's not.
Yes, those are, whose is that? Somebody left it from last class? Oh, it's yours. Okay. Anything else? Okay. All right, so don't forget that I do have study tables today after school. If you're failing, you need to be there. Yesterday, I had 13 people at study tables, which is awesome. I am getting buried in late assignments right now, so as they come in, be patient with me grading them. But that makes me very happy. I want you guys to get caught up in anything that you're missing, so please turn it in. Come to study tables. Even if you don't need help, just use it as a structured place to get work done, okay? And some of you were there yesterday. All right, so what we're going to do today, we're going to do things in a little bit different order. So I do want you to start, you should have started yesterday. I put a note out on Google Classroom. I want you to restart independent reading, so I do want you to do that. We're restarting independent reading for a goal. It's been a while since we suspended that while we were working on the argument essay. So while you're reading today in class, I'm going to pass out your goal slips. Okay, so if you've forgotten what your reading goal is, I'm going to give you a slip to remind you. Some of you, I've adjusted it down a little bit while we're reading Romeo and Juliet. Okay, but that's the goal you're going to work to. Christian, I'm going to get you started on a goal today. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to start with a do now so that we can keep working on prepositions and review prepositions a little bit. And then we'll go right into silent reading and do a little bit of silent reading with our independent reading books. After that, we're going to do a review activity for Act 1. Then we'll read aloud what you guys read for homework due today. And then hopefully you'll have time to watch the video of what we are reading right now. Okay? So our learning targets are identify prepositional phrases and objects of the preposition in sentences. Okay. With the review, what we're going to do is work with peers, so collaborate to review Act 1, Act 1, character, drama, and plot. And then the worksheet that was due today is where you're demonstrating your knowledge of plot and character for Act 2 so far. Okay? Homework is a little bit different today. So it's reading, but I'm going to show you what's different about it. Okay? There will be a quiz on Thursday, so be ready for a reading quiz over what you read for today and what you're reading for Thursday. So let me show you what's different. So first of all, in Google Classroom, I always post the reading assignment on the agenda. So that never changes. It's always there. Okay? Let's wait for it to catch up. So the reading assignment is going to be after the agenda, as always, where the homework is here. But as you've noticed, I've been posting the reading as an assignment. Okay? What's different, and the reason I want you to remember this, is I'm having you skip around a little bit with the reading for Thursday. Okay? We've been reading about 10 to 12 pages. If you do the skipping properly for Thursday, you're only reading 7.5 pages. So a smaller assignment, but you need to have this open in front of you to know what you're reading. Okay, so you're going to read pages 554 or 546 through 549 first. Then you're going to skip from 549 to 554. But here's where it gets complicated. For 554 and 555, I only want you to read lines 150 through 174. The reason I'm doing that is so that you won't get confused with what's happening in the play. If you just read those lines with the part that I'm removing, you'll still understand who's talking to whom and what's happening. Okay? And then after those 2 pages where you're just reading those lines, then you finish the scene with 556 through 560. Okay? So we're skipping a little bit of the play for this next section. Okay? And just make sure you have this open when you're reading. Again, it's about 7.5 pages. This never wants to close with my finger, and I don't know why. It just doesn't like to do that. All right. So let's go ahead and get started to do now. All you need is a pencil. So go ahead and get out a pencil. And do a little half sheet. I want you to do this, but you can't get credit for it because you're retarded. All right, so we're going to review prepositions here. So put your name on here. Make sure the block is on here. I'm taking a half point off, remember, if you don't put your block on here. So we are R2. Okay, so you have 5 sentences here. You're going to underline each prepositional phrase in each sentence, and you're going to circle the object of the preposition. So we have a little bit of guided notes here. So I want you to fill in the blank for the guided notes so that we review, because we did this in mugs, and I want you to have it in front of you. So, for the guided notes, a prepositional phrase starts with a what? Prepositional phrase starts with a what? Don't overthink it.
A noun.
A noun?
Yeah.
A prepositional phrase starts with a noun.
Yeah.
Does everybody agree with that? What do you think, Bria? Prepositional phrase? Prepositional, the word is an adjective. Prepositional phrase starts with a... Peyton? A preposition. See, don't overthink it. All right, good. So, fill that in. Prepositional phrase starts with a preposition and ends with a blank, a noun, or, no, what can take the place of a noun? Which one of these parts of speech up here?
Adjective.
An adjective can take the place of a noun? What does an adjective do? Describes, right? What's the one part of speech up here that can take the place of a noun? A what? A verb?
A pronoun.
A pronoun. A pronoun. The verb is an action word, or one of the forms of to be. So, let's read this again. A prepositional phrase starts with a preposition, and the phrase ends with a noun or a pronoun. Okay, so look at the example here. This is exactly what you're doing. So look at the example sentence I have here, really short one. He played in the grassy field. The prepositional phrase starts with the preposition in the grassy field, and you see that I circled field. Field is the noun that ends the prepositional phrase. Okay? Notice you don't circle grassy. Grassy is an adjective describing the field. So I said here, make sure that you don't circle adjectives that are describing the object of the preposition, the noun or pronoun. Just the pronoun or noun itself. Okay? When you guys did the IXL last week, close your device, Vishon. We're not going to use devices this class. So you can just close it. When you guys did the IXL last week, what I liked about the IXL is that it told you, before you started on a sentence, how many prepositional phrases you were going to look for in that sentence. So that's what I did here. The number after each sentence tells you how many prepositional phrases you're looking for, okay? So that gives you, so that you're not looking for something that's not there. You got 2 in the first sentence, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, 3 in the fourth sentence, and 2 in the fifth, okay? All right, go ahead and work on this. Underline the prepositional phrase, circle the object of the preposition. When you're done, put it in the blue tray up here. Everybody look at me for a second. When you're done, put it in the blue tray, and then I want you to go right into silent reading. So go ahead and get out your independent reading books as soon as you're done with this, and we'll do silent reading. The phrase starts with your underline goes all the way underneath the preposition. Okay. You haven't been here for parts of speech and life, so I don't know what you've done. you're close here. You see that go to preposition there. Yeah. This is correct. The phrase will end with that, so you don't need to underline the part after. Okay, so for this one, you'll have one more in that sentence. It's gonna end, so the phrase is gonna end with the noun, so it won't begin with it. So you have this here, now underline the phrase that this goes with, and the same with the next sentence.
Yeah.
The phrase, okay. So you wanna start with this, the preposition. So, no, if you don't have your books, you have to do an article. And you have to answer the questions afterwards, which you can bring next class. And you get your book out. You can answer the questions afterwards. I can sit it down. To this. You have a book? No, not that, an independent reading book. Okay. This is your reading goal, just to remember. Go ahead and open your book. You don't have an independent reading book yet? This is going to be your goal for now. We will test that goal too. Hold on a second. You like sports? Okay, I want you to start with this book. So you're going to read between, well, we started yesterday, between yesterday and next week when I see you, you need to read that many pages. All right, we're going to stop there, so go ahead and stop where you are. And you go ahead and put away your independent reading books and leave out your textbooks. All right, what we're going to do now, we're going to review, as I said up here, we're going to go ahead and review Act 1. And because I don't like always being the one standing up here asking the questions and then waiting for answers, I want to do this differently today because I want to give you guys a chance to talk to each other more about Act 1. And so I've got questions for you to answer. And we're going to do this in a new way. It's a variation of an activity called inside-outside circles. We don't have enough room to really do a circle, so we're going to do lines. So what I'm going to do, each of you is going to get a question from Act 1. We're going to line up here, and you'll be lined up facing another person who also has a question. Don't discuss your question until I say start, but when I say start, you will discuss your question with the person in front of you. So each of you will read your question to each other and discuss what you think the answer is. You'll have 45 to 60 seconds to do that. Okay? Then we're going to stop, and with the line that's going to be, we'll have an inside line standing up here, and then the outside line, one person will shift, and then we'll shift to the right, and you get to talk to a different person about your question. We'll do that 3 times, so you get to talk with 3 people. So if you really don't know the answer to this question, you want to try to get the answer from one of the 3 people you're talking to. Make sense? Okay, so I'm going to hand out the questions and we'll get lined up here. And then we'll share out. So you're going to hold on to these questions for a little while. All right, so let's line up this way. So I want to get Anthony. Why don't you come up here? We're gonna need all the room we can get. So why don't you stand like right here, and then Bria next to him. All right, let's get Anthony Sosa next, and Jennifer. Okay, then Lenny. All right, and then we'll do Ruby. Why don't you come up? Okay, so just line up. All right, the rest of you go stand across from somebody. Go ahead and get up, stand